If you're looking for a half marathon PB or just some structure for your half marathon training, then look no further. Today, we present a 12-week program for a sub 1 hour 45 half marathon. Let's get to it. A half marathon is a great goal for someone looking to take their running to the next level. Just completing a half marathon is a great challenge, and aiming for a specific time even more so.
Yeah, now if you have some run experience under your belt, perhaps you've run a sub 50-minute 10K or perhaps a 2-hour half marathon, then aiming for a 1:45 half marathon may be your next big goal. But unlike just finishing a half marathon, targeting a goal pace of 5 minutes per K, which is what's required to break 1:45 for a half marathon, is going to require a structured and balanced program.
Yep, so today we present that program to you. And you can click on the link down below for the PDF version, which you can download and follow along. But we're going to walk you through the whole program. We've set this program over 3 months or 12 weeks, and you can, of course, skip a couple of weeks in the beginning, or you can add a couple of weeks in the beginning just by repeating the first couple of weeks. But 12 weeks is a pretty good time frame to aim for one big goal.
Yeah, now we are obviously assuming that you're starting with some level of fitness. You're not just jumping into this with zero running. So we'd advise that you are comfortably running for at least an hour, or at least can do so, and are probably running 3 to 4 times a week for a minimum of 30 to 45 minutes.
We've set the program with rest days on Mondays and Thursdays, harder sessions on Wednesdays and Fridays, and your long run on Sunday. You can, of course, rearrange these as you need to fit in with your schedule, but we would advise that you be careful that you don't put 2 hard days straight after each other, and try to keep that rest day immediately after the long run day. So let's take a closer look. The first week will be pretty basic, ending with a 10-kilometer long run for a total of 30 kilometers. Remember, this is just to help you get into the routine of the program. The following week is much the same, but we add some intensity to the Wednesday and Friday. Remember, these are going to become your hardest sessions of the week.
Stick to the program in the first 2 weeks. At this point, you're probably going to be feeling quite motivated and probably great at this point, and can be very tempting to do extra, but this could end up leading to fatigue later on and having to miss some of those important sessions.
In weeks 3 and 4, you've hopefully settled into your routine, so now it's time to add some intensity to those Wednesday and Friday sessions and get them closer to race pace. This is the first time you will actually run at race pace of around 5 minutes a kilometer. Make sure to take the rest in between those intervals, that's the number in brackets, walking even if you need to make sure you recover for the next interval.
Now don't worry if race pace feels really hard at this point, or you can't imagine yourself running at that pace for an hour and 45 minutes in just a matter of weeks. That is exactly what this program is for. Just focus on executing and doing each session well, rather than how far away the goal is.
In week 5, we have your first tempo run. A tempo run is a continuous run at a harder pace and is great for building that aerobic engine and endurance. Getting the pace right for these tempo runs is key. It's not quite race pace, but it should be pretty hard, harder than you're able to sustain a conversation for. Comfortably uncomfortable is how experienced runners describe it. 85 to 90% of your max heart rate, or 80 to 90% of your VO2 max. In week 6, we drop one of the rest days, so increasing to 5 runs a week. Your long run is also getting longer now, and it's important that you do this properly. Make sure you stay hydrated for this and get the pace right. Your long run pace is not as hard as you can go. It is purely aerobic and for building your aerobic engine, and it should feel quite easy. It should be around 65% of your max heart rate, which will probably be over 6 minutes per K.
A good way of keeping your long runs enjoyable and slow is actually to do them with fellow runners or friends. Now, the long run is a perfect opportunity to socialise and chat, which actually, in turn, is a good measure of your effort, because if you are breathing too hard to chat, you probably need to slow it down.
You'll notice week 8 in the program is an easier week, with only 4 sessions in it and lower mileage. This is what we call a recovery week. This is to help you absorb all the work you've done so far and prepare you for the last hard work that's coming up ahead. If you get towards the end of this week and you're still feeling tired and that long run still feels daunting, consider shortening it even more. You won't lose much by cutting out the session or shortening it a whole lot, but you'll gain a lot more if you're able to do the upcoming hard sessions really, really well.
Right, now you're just 4 weeks away from race day, so now it's time to consider logistics and planning for race day itself. You don't want to throw away all that hard work with some last-minute silly mistakes. So it's time to figure out the race routes, where all the aid stations are, and of course, plan how you're going to get to the race on race day itself. And you may want to also look at what you're going to wear on race day. Do a full dress rehearsal, make sure that nothing's chafing or uncomfortable.
Weeks 9 and 10 are your last 2 big weeks. Make sure you concentrate and nail these hard sessions. Do them really well. Not only will this be a great final boost to your race day fitness, it also is a great boost for your race day confidence. A lot of these sessions is at race pace, so make sure that you're doing it properly and recovering properly after the sessions. Hang in there, you're almost there, the hard work's almost all done.
At this point, you're hopefully feeling fit and strong, but do not get carried away. Keep those long runs and other easy runs easy and only push hard when the program calls for it.
The last 2 weeks are what we call a taper. This is where we bring the mileage down so that your body can recover, absorb all the work you've done, and you can arrive on race day as fresh and fit as possible. There are still some race pace efforts in there, so make sure you do those well, but they shouldn't leave you exhausted or flat. You should be getting fresher and fresher as you get closer to race day.
Now, as you enter this final couple of weeks, don't let your mind derail all that hard work. It's not uncommon to feel flat, tired, or even sometimes a little bit niggly as you start to reduce the training load. Don't worry, you only really need to feel good on race day, not the day before, or even perhaps even the weeks before. Now, it's also tempting if you have one eye on race day to feel the need to test your fitness or speed in the sessions and runs leading up to the big day. Don't do this. Trust the process, and if you need a little bit of reassurance, then take a look back through your training log, look at all the miles and kilometers that you've accumulated and all the hard sessions you've done. Just doing a few kilometers at race pace, testing yourself out, isn't going to help now.
Well, we hope this program helps you achieve your half marathon goals. If it does, don't forget to come back and leave a comment in the comment section down below telling us how your race went.
Yeah, can't wait for that. Well, if you've enjoyed today's video and it's been helpful for you, please do give it a thumbs up, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content like this.